La música te hace sentir, Sentí la música en tu radio, La música en tu radio. JLT Radio.com.
Moda, arte, cine, gastronomía, belleza. Esto es Cooltura Posh Magazine, la revista de entretenimiento con ADN fashionista. Moda, arte, cine, gastronomía, belleza. Cooltura Posh Magazine, la revista de entretenimiento con ADN fashionista. Hola, hola a todos, bienvenida. Otro lunes, comienzan las semanas llenas de muy buena energía. 12:59 de la tarde aquí en la ciudad de Miami, Florida, desde los estudios de JLT Radio en Coral Gables. En la dirección y control técnico está el señor Juan Mauricio, como siempre, y aquí en los micrófonos los acompaña todos los lunes a la 1 de la tarde, Olga Velasco. Recuerden conectarse por nuestras redes sociales, @JLT Radio Miami. También estamos en Facebook, estamos también en YouTube y por supuesto, bueno, en Instagram, como ya les dije. Mis redes sociales, @Olga Velasco News. Además, ahorita estoy en vivo. Vamos a tratar de hacer el programa, pues hoy en vivo también desde mi Instagram Live. Así que estamos todos conectados. Hoy tengo, bueno, como uno de los temas que me encanta hablar a mí, ya saben, es cine. Y bueno, hoy tengo unos invitados de lujo. Ellos no están aquí en el estudio, pero están desde Orlando, están acompañándonos ya conectados. Vamos a hablar con el director, escritor y productor Chris Ballinger y con Robin Hofmann, también escritora, productora, directora, además psicóloga. Y bueno, vamos a hablar un poquito hoy en inglés y español. Vamos a hacer un mix. Welcome to my special guest today, Chris Ballinger, writer, producer, director, and Robin Hofmann, writer, producer, and director, both of them award-winning. And we're going to start to talk about the new project, the amazing project, The Little C, horror comedy series that also I promote on my social media too. And I want that you guys start to tell me about, welcome first, and about the series. So we're going to start with Robin, like ladies first. Welcome, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Robin. You and Chris, I am super excited that you are here with Chris. Thank you so much. Robin, what means for you be the producer of a horror comedy series?
It's so funny because I'm not typically a fan of horror type stuff, just blood and gore just for the sake of blood and gore. But what Chris wrote was so touching, and there's so many aspects and elements that we'll get into later about the project that I just loved and that spoke to me. So I absolutely was so excited to be a part of the project.
Oh, nice. No, I think it's, so cool. In my case, I am before. I wasn't like really fan of the horror comedy or the horror movies, but now I am. I really recognize that now I am. Chris, tell me how we start this idea to create this horror comedy series, because I know that you first you made the short film called with the same name, Little C. How born this new idea to make the series?
Oh yeah, well, thank you for having me on. I do really appreciate it. It started very innocently, actually. I had done another movie for the Orlando Independent Filmmakers Challenge. They do like 3 or 4 challenges here in the Orlando area a year, and I had done a comedy short that did really well in that festival. And the little girl who was in that short, who plays Lily in Little Z, who is Little Z. She was in that short that I was in, and they announced a new category for their next film challenge, and it was going to be a horror challenge. And I like horror. Unlike the two of you, I like horror. And I was like, sure, why not? And I had Ansley came up to me. That's her name. She came up to me and she tugged on my shirt because she was shorter then. She has grown since then. That was a couple of years ago. And she's like, I want to be in a horror movie. And she was just so cute and wanted, just so endearing. Even though her mother was trying to tell her to shut up. She's like, don't bother him, don't pressure him. And so I said, why not? I'm going to do that. Let's enter the next challenge. I went back and wrote it within, a week. I had written something down. And at that time, I had been watching a show on Netflix called Santa Clarita Diet. And I had been watching that a lot. I love that show. And it just kind of popped in my head to kind of change that up a little bit and make it a little girl that's the zombie that's having all these issues in life. So that's where the concept started and has grown from there.
Great, this is great. So, and for the people that don't know maybe about this is an amazing project that is going to be a series. So, if you have the opportunity to go to YouTube also to see the short film because it's so nice, it was so fun. I love it from the first time that I watched. Also, the short film that also won best original story. True, Chris.
Yes, it was nominated for quite a few categories, but it did win in that festival for Best Original Story. So that was very exciting for me to get that award. It just kind of fueled the fire to continue with it. And I was on the fence whether I wanted to make it a series or not, because usually they don't really go back and forth series film kind of thing. But I had kind of left the short film with a little cliffhanger, like it could go on to be more. So I went back and I wrote 5 more episodes to go along with the first one and make it a series. So that's where I came up. That's where that came from.
Good, excellent. So, Robin, for you, what's like the challenge of be a cinema producer? So you have, a little bit long. You have long time. Working in cinema. I know that you come from the psychology world. So, what's mean for you now? This challenge to be a cinema producer.
Well, that's a great question because being a producer, it entails so much and it can involve all these things. And it's a lot of, planning and organizing, which is perfect for me. That's something that comes natural to me. I have great organizational skills and you need those as a producer since you have your hands in so many different elements of the project. I have 5 kids, so raising them was always a big juggling shuffle act. And so you always had to stay organized. So having those skills was really helpful in my family and, of course, in my career as well. So being a producer it's just incredible because you get to be a part of every single aspect of the film. And I get to do the things that nobody wants to do. Like people are like, oh, I don't want to, write those lists. And, there's a joke that I have, spreadsheets on everything. I have spreadsheets of my spreadsheets with extra spreadsheets because I love to organize. So it's perfect.
Which is amazing because I am producer too, and for TV. But this is a challenge for me. The sheet is, for me it's a challenge. So I really have admiration for you. Chris told me that you are super organized. So this is great. So.
Yes, it really helps because I don't like doing all that paperwork, and she's really good at that. She just shows me the list every time. Look, I made a new list. I'm like, good.
This is an amazing tool. Definitely, Robin. This is an amazing tool, and
but she has. Let me interrupt. But she has like both the skills. Like she's a good writer and director, but then she has the other side of the list and everything too. So it's like, it's really neat that she can do both sides of that. I don't think as a creative we always have the same all those skills. So.
Great, and I mean, I keep like the piece also in the on the set. So I have the opportunity to join you guys, both of you, also for the pitch video. I remember and was super great energy on the set. Everything was organized. All the people was super happy. Which is good because not always we can reach that on set. No, I think means that you are not just organized, that you are really doing well. So, which is good. Excellent for you guys.
Yes. Well, we like to have fun on set. So
Yeah.
that's what it's
Totally,
about. Have fun and
totally.
make a movie.
Totally. Yes, I'm gonna talk a little bit in Spanish just porque estoy conectada también acá en live. Sé que hay mucha gente también conectada. Gracias por conectarse, gracias por estar allí, gracias por vernos, por escucharnos y acompañarnos aquí en Cultura Posh Magazine. Para recordarles a los que están retomando el en vivo ahorita y los que están comenzando a conectarse ahorita, estoy conversando desde Orlando con el escritor, director y productor Chris Ballinger y con Robin Hofmann, también psicóloga, escritora, directora y productora. Por eso estamos hoy en el in-between de hablar español y también, por supuesto, hablar inglés. Aquí somos un mix como en Miami, multiculturales. Y bueno, we really enjoy, this mix between the Spanish, the Latin, and obviously you guys with the English. So I am, telling to the people that are connected, if you want to ask a question, just welcome. Si quieren hacer una pregunta, si quieren comentar, bienvenida también. Pueden llamarnos justamente aquí al estudio o mandarnos una nota de voz el teléfono del estudio 305-521-3434 y el WhatsApp 786-315-0689. Recuerden, estamos aquí en los estudios de JLT Radio en Coral Gables por Cultura Posh Magazine, hoy conversando de cine. Today, talking about Little C. So, okay, next question. Chris, why the passion for the horror movies? Why this passion for this genre?
I've been trying to think about a good answer for this question because I don't know. I've always loved Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. There's just something about Halloween that I love, and horror movies. I don't know. I think it's the thought of being scared or afraid of something that really attracts me to it. And I feel like horror does get a bad rap, but it's a challenging genre to work in, and to because the funny part with horror comedy is horror comedy kind of combines two. But if you do a straight horror, you're so close riding the line to making it funny, too funny, and then it doesn't look right and campy. And so this one kind of combines both of them. So I think it's a huge challenge if you're doing a straight horror, not to make it look funny and goofy, but keep it the straight horror. And then if you're making a horror comedy, it combines the two, which is another line that you're trying to ride to make it look right, kind of thing. But I don't know where it came from. I'm just a huge Halloween fan, the holiday Halloween, and the movie Halloween. But it's just a genre that I love to be scared. I
Like
guess.
Juan, our director, asked us, like, do you like maybe scared to the people?
Because I love it.
Yeah, I like to bring out that emotion in people. It really does and elicit an emotion of some kind of emotion, either usually scared, but I also want to add in. I don't want it to be just a slasher movie, just a bunch of people being murdered. I want to add that element of a good story, a good backstory, and good characters in there too. So you have that story element, a good theme, and a good message that you're trying to give, as well as trying to entertain the people at the same time.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I think the concept of literacy definitely has this good mix between, I mean, a good message for the society and also, super funny and horror, of course. Robin, in your case, you came from the psychology world. What's mean for you the world of little C, thinking that she's a preteen, that this is a deal, and also a zombie?
Yeah, I think it's a great dynamic that Chris wrote in, and that's what drew me in. I kind of want to fix what I said before about not being a fan of horror. I really kind of like what Chris was saying. I just wasn't a fan of just gore just to be gore. But if it has, some substance to it and it has something that's more interesting and has a good story, then I'm definitely interested. And that's what drew me to Little Z is this preteen who's going through all of the things that preteens go through, in addition to a newly blended family. So she's learning who she is as a human, but on the flip side of that, she's having to also learn the dynamic of being a zombie. So it's really great. It was such a great idea that Chris wrote, and he's a very good writer. So it's a really great story.
Great, great. Yes, yes. I mean, it's yes. It's like this challenge I saw. For example, one of the interview of Ansley, and I mean, it's funny, obviously, to be like a zombie. But she told in the interview that I mean, it's a challenge. It's not easy, like be a preteen and also a zombie. So is I mean it's kind obviously of cool of it's really cool. I think the idea, and obviously it's a yes, it's like challenge and maybe weird situation, all of them with the family. So
Yeah.
because Lily also is adopted girl.
Well, she the new stepdad is in there,
Uh-huh.
so so because it follows Scott as well, our our deputy sheriff, um, who marries into that family. So um, he's trying to learn the dynamics of a new family. Just like any blended family that would come together, would have to uh, learn how to get along with each other. And not only that, but she is a zombie on top of it. So it makes it even harder um, to come to some common ground. But the thing is what they have in common, and they don't know, is they're both don't fit in. Like Scott, he doesn't fit in at work, and he's trying to fit in with his new family. Lily doesn't fit in school, and she's trying to um, learn how to fit in society as this. So they're both trying to learn the same thing, but they butt heads at the same time, and they're going to have to come together and find that common ground, um, because people are after them. People are after Lily, um, because of certain things that she can do, which we don't find out right away in the first few episodes, but we find out down the road what happens to her and why she's very important.
Well, sound like super super interesting. I think it's more than I mean, obviously horror comedy, but with a deep message. And Juan again has a question. He asked us right now: is do you really believe maybe in the real life? Do you think the zombies exist? What do you think?
In
This is
real
a
life,
question in real life.
I guess that's why I like this genre a little bit, because to me it's a conceivable thing that something could happen. You could get a virus or something could happen. Maybe it's just because movies have been made about that, but I feel like to me it's something. I like doing things that could actually conceivably happen. So whether they're out there or not, I'm not sure. Um, but to me, in my mind, this could really happen, and that's why I wanted. That's why I like the zombie genre. Not easy to say, zombie genre. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure if they're out there. I don't know if Robin has any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean that's funny.
What do you think, Robin?
Yeah, I love what Chris said about it being conceivable. Like my husband has what he calls a Z plan. So like if the zombie apocalypse happens, he has a plan for exactly what he's going to do when
Oh,
that
really?
yeah.
Your husband. Oh, yes. No, and I know that. I mean, I read before that. I mean, some people obviously. I mean, it's not your husband. I think it's some people really believe in that, or maybe some like crystal us like kind of virus maybe gonna appears, and I mean this type of thing can happen.
Oh
And
yeah, there are groups out there that are ready for that, for the zombie apocalypse.
I think
Yeah.
why the genre has stayed popular for so long. I mean, zombie movies have been out for a very long time. And normally you have like waves. You have your vampires, you have your werewolves, and you have these waves of different elements of, of these movies. But zombies have been a focus on TV and film for a really long time.
Yes, I mean, obviously, movies like Zombieland and okay, I forgot the
Well, The Walking
but
Dead was big.
The series
Yeah.
had been like a super huge successful with zombies, and yes, I mean the movies like Zombieland, obviously, like the classic thriller, and also with Michael Jackson, that was like a amazing. I think like pioneer in the genre, no, in that time, also because it was a musical.
Yes. Yeah. It's been like Robin said, it's been going on for a long time, and I don't see
Yeah.
it stopping really anytime soon, in my opinion. But I like I said, I wanted to write something that had substance. So this one deals with a really good message of bullying and somebody not fitting in, feeling different, and being uh, on the outside, and you know, and she's being described as something extraordinary, but she just wants to be normal and ordinary, just like everybody else, but she's not. So she struggles with that, along with Scott, the new stepdad, struggles to fit in. So
Oh,
that's my message that I wanted to get across.
no, yes, and I mean it's a really, really great message. So I am excited that I mean that we can do this series, of course. So, and we have a question. The people ask again, Juan. Sorry, the question is okay. Which another genre do you like? If you don't do for if you don't make horror movies, which is your other favorite genre with movies with the movies?
I'll go first, or you want to go first, Robin?
Go ahead.
Hmm. Well, I like drama. I've been writing some other stuff that's just dramatic pieces, and I like fantasy because I'm writing a fantasy piece, and then I wrote sci-fi. So fantasy and sci-fi and drama are my other uh, two or three things that I really gravitate towards.
Great. And you, Robin, tell me, what is your other favorite genre?
Well, comedy is what drew me to Little Z first. That spoke to me much more than the horror, but then putting it all together was really amazing. But I also love mystery. I'm a huge fan of mystery. I'm kind of one of those people that it's annoying to watch TV or films with me because, like, I will say what's going to happen before it even happens. I'll even say some of the lines before they even say it, having never seen it before, because I always know what's going to happen. But in a mystery, a lot of times they do it so well that you just don't know what's going to happen and you don't know what's going on. And I love that feeling because it doesn't, I don't get that very often. And I just actually wrote a mystery. It's a comedic mystery, but that we'll be filming at the end of August.
Oh, great. So you had been, Robin, also with long time also writing and producing. So you have this project, obviously Little C, but also your project again. Can you give me just the name of the project?
Sure. The film that we're going to be doing soon is called Sticky Fingers.
Oh,
Sticky Fingers. So it's got multiple references to like having literally barbecue sauce and having sticky fingers, and then sticky fingers meaning somebody who stole something. So there's a mystery within the family of somebody who stole a winning lottery ticket.
oh, great, great. And when is gonna be the premiere of this film? You are in production or you finish?
So we're in pre-production. We'll be filming at the end of August, and then it will be shown during the OIF Challenge, the Orlando Independent Filmmakers Challenge, in November.
Oh, great. So great, great. So we're gonna be keeping contact with this. So we're gonna for sure enjoy, and also obviously to promote the film here. So, Chris,
Yes.
uh, Juan, we has a question,
Juan,
another
Juan's got
question.
another question.
Yes,
Yeah, so people write in the chat,
uh-huh.
Chosan.
Okay.
Yes. So when you go, guys, but for both of you, when you go to a cinema and to watch a horror movie, in your case, when you are the, like different, just you are the public. So you like or you really enjoy the dark part of the movie, or you just close your eyes? You sometimes are afraid or no when you watch a movie?
I close my eyes. I totally close my eyes, and if I'm with my husband, I take my whole face into his, chest or armpit. I'm
You are from my team, Robin. You are from my team. And you, Chris?
No, I like to watch it. The the best one I saw in a movie theater was Paranormal Activity, which was it was like a found footage movie where there was just security cameras up, and there was a entity in the house, and it was terrorizing them, and it was just freaky because to me that could happen too. Maybe if there's ghosts and entities out there, but it was freaky. And the people in the theater were screaming, so which made it even
Yeah, yeah, no,
scarier.
for sure. So I'm gonna want to read a little bit the message that we have here also. Oh, Christian, another friend from Mexico. Cheers from Mexico. He said,
Yay!
"Congrats to the people. Congrats for the project." And they say, "Congrats to my lovely friend Olga." Oh, so thank you, Christian. Dalda, Israel, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Trabuco Contrapunto. Gracias, gracias. Celebrat Events. Mi tía Bella. Gracias, Sony Verdes de Colombia, por estar. Bastien from France. Thank you. Merci, mon ami. Thank you so much. So Ingrid Visual, thank you so much for being here. If you want to ask a question, you can text here. Text also for our phone number en el estudio 305-521-3434 por WhatsApp, que ya han habido allí comentarios por WhatsApp. Gracias por eso. 786-315-0689. Para los que se están conectando nuevos y los que se están incorporando, estamos aquí en Cultura Posh Magazine por JLT Radio, 1:25 de la tarde, conversando desde Orlando con los cineastas, escritores y productores Chris Ballinger y Robin Hofmann. So, guys, we are still, talking with this about this. Robin, how had been the experience that work with Chris, with the team also? How had been the experience for you?
It's been incredible. I mean, Chris is just a great human, so that makes everything so much easier. I've worked with a lot of writers, and the thing about Chris that I absolutely adore is that he's open to listening. So he's so smart, and he's got these great ideas, and he's written this great material. But if I happen to say, oh, you know what, maybe it might be great if we add in this or change this a little bit, he's so open to hearing that. And that's so important to me because I'm also a writer and a creator. And if it's not my place, if there's a writer that says they don't want to hear any of that, then I'm absolutely okay with that too. But it's really wonderful that Chris is open to that, just the communication and the flexibility. And he put together an incredible team. He sort of just finds people who are also in the same mindset of enjoying our time on set, but being serious about our jobs and doing what we need to do to make a great film.
Yeah, yes, was great. I really enjoy also. I had the experience to share with you guys on set and was super nice. Like I told you before, the energy and like you told Robin, this is really important when, in a special, obviously, when the leader, with the director is open to listen, because I know that some directors usually have like a, super straight, maybe more close. So, but in the case of Chris, so I had been with you guys on the set again, and it's really nice. I mean, to have this experience, and It's really cool that you also obviously enjoy as a producer. I mean, in that moment you were the director, Robin. I remember because I was for the pitch video. So, and Chris in that project, in that set, was an actor. Chris, which is the difference to be on set as an actor? I mean, what do you enjoy more, be an actor on the set or be the director?
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that at that moment I was, and obviously I do play Scott's partner at work, Joe. I'm his superior officer, I guess you'd say there. But I mean, I don't put myself in a lot because to me it's still hard to do both, to try to direct and be in the film at the same time. So it was easy to pass it off to Robin for that part of it. That you got to pass it off to somebody that you can really trust. But as far as that, I because I started as an actor a long time ago, and then I started liking stuff behind the camera. So that's where the transition kind of went to, from being in front of the camera to being behind the camera. So I still miss being, excuse me, in front of the camera. But I do. My passion is, I think now, is writing and directing. But I will still be in front of the camera if you ask me to. So I still like that because it's fun to play those characters that people write for. That's the fun part, is you get to be somebody that you're not really in real life. But what I found is, as the writer, you're the one creating the characters, and that's where I want to be. I want to be at ground zero, creating that, thinking those crazy characters up, or those cool characters, and then finding somebody to be that character is fun for me. So I think that's where I'm at now, with the writing and the directing mostly. But that was the whole reason I started making my own films, is because I was like, well, if I'm having trouble getting auditions, because Florida is a very commercial state, I decided, I'll just put myself in films. So that's how I started doing that. I'm like, if nobody's gonna hire me, I'll just put myself in it.
No, I mean, which is great. I think, I mean, it's no, if you don't, I mean, this is the best advice for me. So if you don't find opportunities, you create
You
the
create them.
opportunity, you create the project. So, which
Thank
is
you. That sounds better.
So,
And it's really the most incredible feeling in the world when you have an idea. You just think of something and then you put it down on paper, or you start, writing. And these characters, I always say that my characters write themselves. They wake me up at 4:00 in the morning and like demand to be written. And I have got up in my, in my pajamas and walked into my studio and just started typing, because those characters were yelling at me and telling me they needed to be written. But to go through that process, like Chris was saying, and then you find people to bring these characters to life. And then all of a sudden you have, in real life, what you had in your head is now there in film, and you're watching it. It's just literally the most incredible feeling in the world. I will never get over that feeling when I see my projects, and you're just like, oh, that was in my head and now it's here. Like, that's just amazing.
This is so exciting, so exciting. So I have two questions here. Juan, sorry, again, you tell me the question for the guys. Okay. Which is the more complex part in a project? The finances, or the organization, the production? What for you, Guy? This question is for both. What do you consider is more complex? And then we have another question too.
Yeah, I would love to take this question. The most challenging part, well, of course, finances are always a challenge unless you're crazy wealthy for some, reason. But the pre-production part is so important. I had one of my last films was just a 20-minute short, and I probably put in over 100 hours of pre-production into making that film. And you have to spend that time, otherwise it shows, and you're not prepared, and people on set don't know what they're doing, and that to me is like, it's not okay. So the pre-production of breaking down what you've written into actual scenes, and who needs to be there, what the wardrobe needs to be, what the makeup needs to be, and I'm sure I'm not ruining anything here. I'm not going to ruin any movie magic, but of course we don't film the way it is from the start to finish of the film. You film, if you're in a bedroom and you have 5 different scenes in this bedroom, you're going to film all 5 of those scenes while you have everything set up in that room. So things aren't in order. So you need to make sure everything is so tight and so specific on what time, what day, what location you're going to be filming everything. So it takes a really long time to make that happen.
Oh yes, I know. I bet it's a challenge. In your case, Chris, what do you think is the more complex part?
Yes, you see, that's why I have Robin for this because she's right. I
Very
mean,
smart.
pre I don't like pre-production because it's not the fun part, and it's like you want to go on set and play and do all the fun stuff. That's the fun stuff. Either the writing or filming it are the fun stuff. The in between of getting the everything organized and the pre-production is, like she said, it's the more you do pre-production, the better off it's going to run on set. So I struggle with that a little bit, but obviously, yes, the finances are tough. It's tough to find people that to support your projects. It's not easy, and it's a whole nother thing besides writing. Because like I said, writing and directing is my fun thing, but I could focus totally on being into finances and distribution of movies. It's a whole nother, you know.
Totally, it's like another. I mean, really important part of the business, and I mean,
Yeah.
and I know that is a challenge. So I have a question, Chris, for you, also from Mexico. Uh, what's the next step in horror movies to capture the audience interest? What is next in the technology? Ask Christian Moir from Mexico. As you.
In the technology for
Yes, I think maybe. I mean, he's a horror movie fan, and he asked which is the next step now in the industry for horror movies to capture the audience interest. So, for example, like next in technology, maybe now there is, I don't know, like no, the same. For example, if we want to make now a movie like The Exorcist, and I mean that was amazing anyway in that moment, but now we have obviously more like resource, more technology. What do you think now change if the technology changed the way how to make or to be more attractive in horror movies?
well, the general overall is like cameras have changed a lot.
Hmm.
You can get a camera to shoot 4K. I mean, your phone shoots 4K now, so visually it looks it's even easier for anybody to get a good camera these days to shoot it. I mean, you need to know how to use it no matter what, and you need to light it correctly. But the technology, it's not just for big productions now. You can do it. Anybody can shoot a good movie now and have that kind of equipment available to them. As far as horror movies, I mean, I think we noticed that a little bit. I think you notice a little bit more now with the CGI and stuff like that. Some of the blood splatter we even used was not real. It was put in digitally. So a lot of stuff digitally has been put in. That's changed a lot. The background you can change. The screen, just like if I don't know if people watch The Mandalorian, but that is shot in a huge. It's called God, why it's I'm forgetting the name of it right now. There's actually a smaller one in Tampa, Florida, but it's a complete huge oval, and you can put props, practical props in it, and then just change the whole background. It's millions of digital pixels of camera of TVs and stuff, so you can change the background. The background can move, and the actors can be right in that area and not have to go. You don't have to go to Russia or South America, whatever. You can just make it, or the moon, or whatever you want to make it. That's the technology these days that's
Yes, like
changed
the
everything.
chroma key, true. The chroma key, but maybe like you mean like the chroma key is the name, no, of the.
Oh, actually, it's called the volume. That's what it's called. It's called the volume. That's the
Okay.
one they use for the Mandalorian.
Okay.
It's a huge thing in a studio, and they can project whatever you want on the screen and put practicals like a spaceship like they did for The Mandalorian and just put some dirt and some things, but then the whole background is whatever you want it to be. And they actually have a small one in Tampa
Oh,
now, so you can do it, do that. So I think that's changed the way
Film in general, yeah.
film in general, and to shoot in a studio is so much more control. It's hard to control outside forces. If it rains, it's sunny, it's hot, it's noisy. I always have planes flying over every time I'm trying to shoot something. So that being in a studio and being able to put whatever background you want and have the control of the sound and the lights is you can shoot faster and you can shoot more clean and that kind of thing. I think it's changing the way it's different than green screen now these days because people still use green screen, but it's changed. It's changing.
okay.
So I think that's the biggest technology in my mind, what I can think of right now that's out
Great.
there.
No, yes, great. It's amazing how the technology, I mean, the how everything starts to be just better, and obviously you can make amazing movies with amazing special effects. So yeah, I mean, just I remember, for example, and the still being obviously a great movie like The Exorcist, because it's one of the horror movies, obviously, that is like was amazing, and it's a classic. And when I is maybe they make now, so with the technology that have now, for sure it's going to be like a more attractive on the screen. So thank you for Chris for the answer, and thank you Christian Moore from Mexico that
Thank
he
you.
asked the question. Thank you so much. Hay gente conectada, súper chévere. Chris TV, gracias Chris también por conectarte aquí en Miami. Mauricio García, mi querido Mauro, un besazo, que espero que estés aquí pronto con nosotros, mi querido chef. Y mi amada Nancy, mi catira también desde México, conectándose. Gracias por estar allí. Para los que se están conectando ahora, repito, Cultura Posh Magazine aquí desde JLT Radio, conversando hoy con el director, productor y escritor Chris Ballinger y con la productora, escritora y directora también Robin Hofmann. Bueno, conversando un poco de cine, de los proyectos y por supuesto de Little C, coming back again to Little C, which is the challenge right now that you have, both of you guys, with Little C? In which, I mean, in which spot have been is the project right now?
Well, we're in pre-production, so we are mapping out and figuring out what we're going to film and in what order. But financially, that is our biggest struggle right now. So we have a campaign going on through Seed and Spark. So anybody that has it within their heart and within their wallet to support us in any way, even a little bit, if a lot of people give a little, it adds up to be a lot. So if anybody wants to go check us out on Seed and Spark, it even helps just to follow our campaign. Even if you can't donate, we understand completely. Just being supportive and following it and sharing our campaign would be really super helpful.
Yes, of course. So, Chris, you can explain me more about this campaign. Also, obviously, invite to the people to join this campaign. Like Robin told us, share if you can donate, you can just share, and was gonna be amazing.
Yes, I can add a little bit to it. Well, not a little bit because Robin said it she said it great there. Yes, it's a crowdfunding campaign that's taking place on the platform Seed and Spark. There's many different platforms that do crowdfunding campaign. I chose Seed and Spark because they're all about the independent filmmaker. That's all they really focus on is supporting the independent filmmaker with education as well. They do a lot of educational programs to support the independent filmmaker and distribution. They have a platform where your stuff can be shown on their platform as well. So that's why I went with them. And that's, like Robin said, that's where we're at right now. We're in the middle of this campaign. And as far as the crowdfunding campaign goes, it's you go to the site, you can look up see all about the whole story, about all of us, about the series. You can see the pitch video, funny videos, interviews with us, pictures of us. And then there's incentives on the side. So each tier of donation, you get a different type of incentive. And there's a couple more incentives actually I'm going to be putting out this week. Some new ones that are coming out. And they're really cool. You know, some of them are, there's a really cool new poster that a local graphic artist made that I'm super psyched about. We have, you know, you can come on set and spend a day with us and watch how a film is made. You can come and be made up as a zombie by our professional special effects makeup team. There's many different levels. So yeah, I encourage you to go check that out. And like Robin said, any support, even if you just hit the follow button and follow us, I would love that as well. So I really do appreciate anything.
Yes, for sure. So I'm going to start to also to explain a little bit in Spanish, just in case for the people that are start to connect. Estoy hablando como les decía, con el escritor, productor y director Chris Ballinger y la escritora, productora y también directora Robin Hofmann. Estamos conversando sobre Little C. Little C es un proyecto, una serie de horror y comedia que está en proceso ahorita de producción. Ellos tienen una campaña en el link Sid and Spark, que bueno, pueden ir también a las redes sociales de @Ballinger Films y @Little C The Series, y pues se van a la bio y le dan clic y pueden ver lo que es la campaña. La campaña, ahí está el concepto de la serie, están los videos e incluso los incentivos. Pueden donar desde $10 y si no pueden donar, no importa, pueden solo compartir la campaña y seguirlos y apoyarlos. Es una super manera igual de hacerlo, compartiendo la campaña a través de las redes sociales. Y esto es para producir la serie Little C, que ya la película fue realizada en el 2019 y estuvo nominada a varios premios en el Festival de Cine Independiente de Orlando y también ganó como Mejor Historia Original. Bueno, ha tenido además muy buenas críticas especializadas, así que bueno, se ha decidido por eso hacer la serie. Y bueno, por eso está su productor aquí, Robin Hoffman, y su director y escritor, Chris Ballinger, eh, que están justamente conversando sobre todo lo que será esta serie próximamente a realizarse. So just I want to start to tell also to the people that start to connect us. I mean, to explain about the series and how they can collaborate or maybe just join the campaign and share also the campaign. So, guys, Chris, can you please also tell to the people the social media and the website just to keep on mind to the people that they start to connect right now?
Oh yeah, we do have a website, Little Z the series. .com, little z/theseries.com, where all the information is as well, the videos, the pitch video, all of our interviews, pictures, and there's a link that takes you to Seed and Spark where the campaign is. You can find me on Instagram at Ballinger Films. That's where I'm posting all the stuff for Little Z and any projects that I'm working on. Also on Twitter at Ballinger-Chris _ Chris, and at Facebook at Chris Ballinger. You can find me there as well. And I'd love for you to come say hi.
Yes, of course, absolutely. So, well, we invite to the people that join the campaign, and also I am supporting in with the marketing part the campaign. So we are super excited with this project. So it's gonna be amazing. So one another question
Next
for
casting, I'm
okay.
6'4". I can be a zombie.
Juan
Yeah.
want to be a zombie.
Sure,
What do
in.
you
You're
think,
in.
director?
He's in.
Great.
He's just got to come to Orlando.
Yes, and it's no problem. Just
Yeah, it's no
3 hours
problem.
by car. I think it's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, Robin, let's see. Why the people for you should be watched the Little Sea story. So, what do you think about this? What is the most important message for you to invite to the people to watch and to obviously join Little Sea?
I think Little Z really taps into any genre. There's some drama with the family and just learning, the ropes of becoming a zombie and being a preteen. There's obviously the horror element of the zombies and some of the things that Lily does. There's comedy, of course. There's some great comedy elements. So I feel like no matter what genre you prefer, you're going to find it in Little Z. So I welcome anyone to watch it because I think everyone will enjoy it and get something out of it.
Great, great. Ay, y bueno, les repito a todos los que nos están escuchando que pueden ir a ver también en el canal de YouTube de Ballinger Films, pueden disfrutar del corto, que es un corto de 12 minutos, está muy cool y obviously it's called Little Sea, es la versión de la película, así que pueden ir al canal de YouTube a verlo y a disfrutarlo y así, bueno, conocer un poquito más de qué se trata, de qué va la serie y sobre todo cómo se ve. Está súper cool, de verdad que sí. Chris, okay, you are right now with Little C currently, but so what is going to be your next projects? You are working on another kind of project. What do you can tell me about that?
Oh, yeah. Also, I wanted to expand on what Robin was saying too about any genre, because I know it's listed as a horror, but there is all those other elements in there as well. So it's not straight up horror like everybody thinks. I wouldn't say it's strictly family show because there is horror, but it's got the family element into it. So I just want to add that in there. So you don't think you're going to see blood and guts the whole time. It's not like that. So, but yeah, next projects. I'm just writing a lot right now. I have several. I have like 4 or 5 projects that I'm working on now. Some of them are completed, some of them are near completion, and I just want to get those up and ready to go out into festivals to send the screenplays out to festivals as well. As with Little Z, I have another little project with Little Z going on right now that I don't want to say too much about because it's, as you know, it's in the preliminary stages of it, but it's Little Z in another form as well. Let's just say I've been trying to figure out a way to say it without saying it.
Great, we are excited.
But they're a different way or medium maybe to see Little Z. So I want you to stay tuned for that because I'm super excited about that too. So
great, Wes. So we're gonna keep the attention and on this. Obviously, on the social media, I think you're gonna post something about it when you have the project ready or almost ready to go out. And Robin, you are currently obviously joined also with Chris in the production of Little C. What else? I know that you are doing your project and you're gonna you're gonna have the premiere on November. So, what is your next step? What are you thinking about the projects you are writing also?
Well, I'm always writing, just like Chris said. It's just one of those things that, as a writer, they just keep flowing, and you can't deny it. It'll keep screaming at you if you don't at least jot it down. But I direct and I produce other people's projects so that I can make money to fund my own films. So that cycle's
good and important.
And you just finished Speak.
I did. I was just going to say we're in pre-production on a film that I wrote called Speak. It's about a young teenager.
Post-production.
But what did I say pre?
Yes.
Thank you. We're in post-production, meaning we've already filmed the film. It's being edited, and the music composer is working on it. A short film about a young girl with a speech impediment and how she overcomes that within her classroom. So that was great, and it's emotional, and it's a beautiful film. So I look forward to being able to share that in a couple months. But yeah, for the next few months, I have, of course, Little Z that I'm working on. I'm assistant directing and producing several films over the next couple of months for other people. And then, of course, we'll be filming my own film, Sticky Fingers.
Great. So, I mean, it's great. So you are working, both of you guys, and, stay like, working hard for the projects and next, writing, production. So I want that you invite obviously to the people to follow you, your social media to Robin, your social media to Chris, and just invite to the people to follow you, and also obviously to join the next project, Little C, and the next ones.
Yeah, my social media, I'm on Facebook. My last name is Hofmann, so it's Hoffy's Heart Productions. That's on Facebook and Instagram. We can probably post a link maybe in the comment section of the show if that's helpful. But yeah, I would love for you guys to follow me. I'm always working on something.
Great. Thank you so much, Robin. And Chris, your social media and website?
Yeah, mine's Ballinger Films on Facebook and Instagram. And Twitter is Ballinger/_Chris on that one too. So that's Ballinger. You can find it at Ballinger_Chris for that one as well. Yeah, so yeah, please, I'd love for you to follow me, follow this project, and follow my other projects. Actually, I just landed a acting role this afternoon, actually, for a short film that I just found out like right before we came on air here. So yeah, we're just constantly working and grinding along and making it happen. So I'd love for you to follow me on all my stuff, and then I can follow you as well and maybe collaborate.
Great. Of course. Thank you so much for all the people that is connecting. Thank you so much for the support. Muchísimas gracias por conectarse desde donde están todos, porque todos estamos regaditos por el mundo en general. Gracias por seguirnos, gracias a las personas que escribieron, gracias a las personas que participaron, muchísimas gracias por apoyarnos. Ya lo saben, todos los lunes a la 1 de la tarde, hora Miami, Caracas, Cooltura, Posh Magazine. And thank you so much to Chris. Thank you so much, Robin. I know that both of you are super full, and you find the time to join us, to share the projects with us, and to have this really cool conversation. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. Bueno, ya lo saben, todos los lunes a la 1 de la tarde, acompáñennos aquí en Cultura Posh Magazine. Gracias a los que se conectaron desde México, desde Chile, desde Venezuela. Gracias por las preguntas. Un besazo a todos y un besazo también por aquí. Ya lo saben, Cultura Posh Magazine, 1 de la tarde. En la dirección y control está el señor Juan, perdón. Juan, siempre yo estoy, a veces yo soy un poquito despistada, yo lo reconozco. Juan Mauricio en los controles y en los micrófonos, Olga Velasco. Ya lo saben, pueden seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales, @JLT Radio Miami. Recuerden también que estamos en Facebook y estamos en YouTube y en Instagram, por supuesto. Y estamos acá también, ya lo saben, @Olga Velasco News en Instagram, igual Olga Velasco Acosta en Facebook. Y bueno, síganos todos los lunes, 1 de la tarde, Cultura Posh Magazine, JLT Radio. Pueden bajar la aplicación, pueden vernos en el website o por supuesto también en YouTube y en Facebook Live y en Instagram. Así que no hay excusas. Acompáñennos, que tenemos también no solamente pues el programa, tenemos una variedad de programas súper cool. Hoy está en la tarde a las 7 de la noche, está Será que nací en el sur, con Sebastián Pinardi y Cecilia Mauricio, que además hablan de música y de rock argentino, súper cool para esta gente, estos amigos que nos gusta el rock argentino, pues ya lo saben. Hoy a las 7 de la noche tenemos también música súper cool durante todo el día en JLT Radio, así que los esperamos por aquí. Ya descarguen la aplicación JLT Radio. Un besazo y bueno, feliz semana a todos. Moda, arte, cine, gastronomía, belleza. Esto es Cooltura Posh Magazine, la revista de entretenimiento con ADN fashionista. Moda, arte, cine, gastronomía, belleza. Cooltura Posh Magazine, la revista de entretenimiento con ADN fashionista.